When a student signs up to attend KIPP Academy, they first must sign a commitment to excellence contract, an agreement that is also signed by the student's parents and their teachers, highlighting that at KIPP there's a shared responsibility and accountability for a student's success.
Adonis Lewis is passionate about teaching because he knows what's at stake.
There's not an option not to do this work because you see that your presence is absolutely needed. You see what the consequences and fully understand what the consequences are for your absence.
Adonis came to KIPP Academy as part of the Teach for America program, but after his commitment was up, he stayed and is now the school's assistant principal.
Part of the asset that I feel that I have is that I serve as a mirror and a window to students. It's not very likely that they're going to have a teacher who looks like them. I feel like 24-year-old black male teaching students who I can really relate to, and I think that they will appreciate it later, and I think that there's just value to it.
And Adonis says KIPP helps students see past the struggles that are often all around them.
Their reality is that they don't see the opportunities that we see. They don't understand the significance of college if no one in the household has gone to college. So when we're saying education is important so that you can get to college, well, what's college? So there is a lot of explaining that we have to do to get kids to understand why it is important, and the significance of college and the fact that it brings opportunity.
By experiencing educational success here at KIPP, pushing students to dream big, no matter their background.
I would phrase it as an opportunity gap between those who have the opportunity to go off and do things in life and then those who don't, because the demographic does not determine destiny.
If you prove yourself that you can be better than what you want, that tears down everything that they believe in.
And it's seldom easy. Often, students have some catching up to do once they get here.
Boarding schools and other schools come and look at us.
By the time they get to me, they've had a year of KIPP, and with them coming 2-3 years behind sometimes, 1 year is not enough. A small portion of them are on grade level, but my goal is to grow each of the students 2 years.
And while some students are playing catch-up, others are high performers, like Danae Johnson's daughter, Layla.
I need my child to be in an environment where she can be challenged, she can be encouraged, and she won't feel somehow minimized because of her race. So KIPP they've done a great job in getting diversity in the staff, in the teaching body. There are a lot of other schools you can go to that are very high performing, but they don't have African American teachers. So I think that that's very important.
Danae is a law professor at Oklahoma City University and says the choice of sending Layla to KIPP is all about educational outcomes.
They're talking through their minds.
It was a hard decision for my husband and I. We are not from Oklahoma. We're always looking out for good educational opportunities. And when coming to a decision about middle school, a lot of people from Dove Science Elementary School were sending their kids to Classen, which started at 6th grade. So to remove Layla to come to KIPP at 5th grade was a big decision because we were separating her from her peer group. Layla was happy to go. Layla is into reading and education, so she's happy to give it a try. I think she's very pleased here. Before coming to KIPP, she didn't seem to enjoy reading. And when we got to KIPP in 5th grade, her teacher put her on a level and assigned some books, and I thought the books were too young for Layla, that they were not quite as advanced as my child was. And so Layla began to read these books and seemed to enjoy them, and then her reading just took off. She has skyrocketed as a reader, and I think it's because KIPP was able to take her a step back, allow her to enjoy the level that she was really at, and then encourage her to go further. So that's been really good. So now she's a super reader and she loves it.
High expectations, not just for students, but for parents as well.
It absolutely takes parental involvement. It absolutely does.
Absolutely. If you increase the expectations of the students, by definition, it increases the expectation on the parent. So I'm expected as a parent to get her here on time. And that everyone has to do that. But we start at 7:25. So she has to be here at 7:25. I think that's a big expectation. Layla has homework into the evening. She routinely is doing homework until 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night. And as a 5th grader, when they send the homework packet home, the parent has to sign the homework. So I have to actually take the time to look at that homework to see that it's done. So I think that that's an expectation that KIPP has that other places they don't have.
A dedication from parents and teachers alike to help students succeed in the classroom and prepare for later in life.
Lots of what we do is rooted in how does this apply to the real life? How is this going to be important later on? I think that if they can get a sense of why it would be important later on, it helps with the investment piece.
Creating an educational environment where high expectations are met with even higher results.
Jump across the drawbridge to the kitchen yard.
So what are some of the methods that you use to reach these students?
Well, first of all, we build rapport with the kids when they get here, because no one wants to do more work. No one wants to go to school longer. No one understands, why. So we try to give them an answer to that why. Why are we doing this? They do understand that in the area of sports at the same age. I mean, very well. And so we try to get them to understand the academic piece the same way. And so that's the trick, is trying to build a rapport, answering the why question, focus on college, and focus on what a college degree would mean to you and your community, and what happens if you don't. The kids know now that 10 years from now, the market, the job market is going to be incredible competitive. And so we talk about that at 5th grade, and that's what motivates those students to start believing. And then they see success. So once they see success, then it's kind of easy. So yesterday, we're testing, state testing, and we had 23 kids in the 7th grade classroom. And so you get the results at the end of the test. And so we don't know what the grades will be, but we know how many questions we got right. We had 3 kids out of that 23 made perfect scores on the state exam in reading. I had another 4 miss only 1 question. So they had 7 kids out of 23 in that one classroom that at least scored, a perfect score, either missed 1. That kind of test score would bring self-esteem really, really quickly. So all of a sudden now they know they're scholars. And so once they know they're scholars, then that mentality of their student changes. And that's you saw 8th graders today.
Let me talk a little bit more about the parents with you. While they may be, some of your parents may be underprivileged, they certainly can't be unmotivated if their students going here, right?
Well, no, I disagree with that.
Okay, well, I'm wondering, why is that?
So, because we have the same parents from the same schools in a city where the schools are not doing well. Matter of fact, we have siblings in elementary school. We'll have a sibling here, and we'll have another sibling in the high school. And so 2 of those 3 schools are low performing, but the parents are the same. And so I'm saying, and so when people make their statements like the parents are the difference maker, and I'm saying we love our parents, but we're still saying that it's what we do. It's the program we have. So when I say all of our kids are coming in, for the most part, 80%, 2 and 3 grade levels below in reading, they have that same parent with that same kid coming in the door. So we're trying to help this parent take a child to another level. And so I would say it's what we do. And then the parents, because the parents are the last group to buy on to what we do, because they think we're killing a kid, because the parents wouldn't want to go to work longer and then have work to do at home. No one does. So they kind of sympathize with their child in 5th and 6th grade quite a bit. I'm not complaining, but because that's just the way it is. They're not used to it. We have kids who come here sometimes, probably only had like 5 homework assignments for the year. Well, they have 5 homework assignments here for the first week. So that's it's like a paradigm shift with the parents. Once they make that shift by 7th grade probably, then you can say, boy, you got a motivated parent. But the parents want a safe environment. They know we have results, but they want a safe environment and they want their kid taught. But I will also say this, a lot of parents don't know that their kids are behind. So for example, we get kids all the time making A's or B's in reading and math, receive the reading award for reading 50 books the year before. I look at the state data that comes back in the summer. I'm the first person to tell the parent, hey, your child failed the reading test last year. They say, couldn't be. My kid's an A student. My kid got a reading award. I said, well, I'm talking about comprehension on the state exam. So they looked at me and said, Tracy, you got to be wrong. They don't even know. And so, we got to educate our parents as well. And we use a lot of data to do that.